Okay, does the Quran tell us that there will always be people who will disbelieve? Yep. That's Texas for yes. Does the Quran tell us that there will always be people who will be against the believers? Yep. Does the Quran teach us that we're always going to have problems with people who are plotting and planning against us? Again, yep. But the Quran also tells us that they plan and Allah plans. And who is the best of the planners? And we know the answer because it's a rhetorical question. Then let us now look to the teachings, the Sunnah, the way of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Did he and his companions, his followers, his disciples, did they experience any difficulty at the hands of their adversaries? Did they suffer persecution from disbelievers? Did people spread lies and rumors against them? Oh yeah. Did they survive? Oh yeah. And there will always be, amongst those who want to disbelieve, there will always be those who will say and do whatever they want in opposition against the submission to God on His terms. And there will always be believers who will suffer in this life, to some extent, at the hands of those people. Allah tells us in the Quran in chapter 29, verse 2 and 3, أَحَسَّبَ النَّاسَ أَن يُتْرَكُوا يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا? Do human beings think they're going to be left alone just because they said, we believe? Oh no. For sure, as Allah tested those before by putting them into fitna or great calamity, He is going to put us into the same thing. To show us, in fact, who are the truthful and who are the liars. So just because you said, I believe in Allah, that's not the end of your problem. It's the end of the biggest problem. The biggest problem is not knowing anything, going through this whole life lost, with no direction, no guidance, blind. That's the biggest problem, because then in the next life the person would wind up in the hell. A'udhu billah. But for the one who recognizes there really is a law, there really is a God, and I want to do what He wants me to do, I don't care what anybody else thinks, I don't care what anybody else does, I'm going to do my best to surrender to Him, loving Him, serving Him with all my heart and all my mind and all my strength. And this is found in the Bible, in the Old Testament. Jesus, according to their book, quoted the same verse in Mark chapter 12, verse 29. It says exactly that. They said, tell us, what is the greatest commandment? He said, the greatest commandment is to know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one Lord. And you have to love Him with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did that, taught that, and more. He clarified many of the things and fulfilled the scriptures of Jesus, peace be upon him, when Jesus said, the one who comes after me, the Spirit of truth, the advocate, the comforter, in the Koine Greek called the Parakletos, He will make all things known unto you. Nobody in 2,000 years since Jesus, peace be upon him, was here, nobody has done that, clarified the message of Jesus more than Muhammad, peace be upon him. The beautiful teachings of Muhammad made clear so many of the things I love to share with Muslims, Christians, elders, children. I love to share with them the real message of Jesus, the real stories, the beauty, the depth, the meaning. I enjoy it so much. And by the way, I'm going to stick a commercial in here for Peace TV. Don't get excited, but here it comes. On Peace TV, you can see some of those programs where we work with the children and show them these great stories of these prophets and help our children to prepare themselves to deal with the reality of Islam in today's world. I don't advocate you should sit and watch TV all the time, but if you are going to have one of those things in your house, at least use it for something constructive. Our prophet, peace be upon him, warned us, and he gave us good news at the same time. He warned us against the evils. He warned us against the sins. He warned us against the hellfire. But he gave us the good news. And the good news is, if we will forbear with patience, endeavor to persevere and be steadfast on our deen al-Islam, then inshallah, God willing, we will achieve the greatest of achievements. Allah forgive us, grant us His mercy, and give us His paradise. And isn't that the best of all solutions to the problem? The word in Arabic for everything I just said is a small word, a tiny word. It's called sabr. It's only 3 letters, sabr. Can you say sabr? No. I have a microphone and you don't, so you have to work really hard now. Say sabr. You need what? We need what? Lots of sabr. But this is not a new teaching. It's mentioned also in the Old Testament. The story of Ayub or Job and how he had to have patience and persevere against many of the calamities, his family, his wealth, his health. And then after being in such a horrible condition that he was in, then his so-called friends coming to him and telling him, oh, this and that, and it's your fault, and blah, 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 or your God, He doesn't love you anymore. Many crazy things. But he endeavored to persevere. He had what? Sabr. And with this sabr, he got the victory from Allah. Allah tested him as He tests all of us. And the Christians and the Jews know him so well, they often say, this man is so patient, he has the patience of Job. They use that expression, the patience, the sabr of Ayub. This is important for us. The solution for us is right in Islam. Islam has everything we need. We don't need anything new whatsoever. It's right there. We just need to put it into practice. Allah tells us in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Quran, Inna laha ma'a sabarin. Verily Allah, He is with those who are patiently persevering and being steadfast. And He tells us in one of the most quoted of all the chapters of the Quran, and I'm sure all of you could say it with me, and actually you can say it with me, it's okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق. Let me hear you. وتواصوا بالصبر. Allah swears by the passing of time, and we don't even know what the passing of time is. Not really. You think you do? Yeah, I got a watch right here. No, you don't know. Go sit in the doctor's office in the clinic somewhere and wait for your turn.